You're not going to have to go download other applications and get all sorts of stuff together to make this happen. We're going to build it right in to iTunes and iPod. So you can subscribe to any podcast, and we're going to make it really easy. And so right into iTunes, very simple. But one of the most important things is, how do you find these podcasts? You want people typing URLs into iTunes? Well, they could do that, but we're also going to build right into the iTunes Music Store an iPod or a podcast directory, so that we're going to list thousands of podcasts, and you'll be able to click on them, download them for free, and subscribe to them right in iTunes. So I'd just like to give you a quick peek of what this is going to look like. Let me bring up iTunes here. And I'm going to go to the podcast homepage. And this is the podcast directory. And we're going to list, again, thousands of podcasts. Let's just go ahead and listen to one. We can go to one here. This is Adam Curry. He's one of the inventors of podcasting. And you could listen to his...
Source code, episode 187.
So you could listen to an episode here, but it's much more interesting to subscribe to the podcast. And we've now subscribed to Adam Curry's podcast. It's flipped us up to this podcast thing right in the source list. It's downloaded the most recent one. If I want to download another one, I can just push a button and go download one of the older episodes. And I can listen to an episode.
Daily source code, episode 187.
Something remarkable is happening here. Radio is springing free of the regulated gatekeepers who've managed what you can hear since radio was invented. It's jumping into the hands of anyone at all with something or nothing to say.
With $16 million worth of airplanes strapped to my ass. With the next generation radio content in my...
Okay. So, let me give you another one. Adam's great. This is KCRW. This is a show called The Treatment. They're a public radio station in LA. So let me go ahead and subscribe to The Treatment. And again, here's another one. I can close this one if I want to. And let's go listen to The Treatment.
This podcast of The Treatment is a production of KCRW Santa Monica at 89.9 FM and webcasting at kcrw.com.
From KCRW in Santa Monica, this is The Treatment.
So you get the idea. These are really cool. Some are amateur and some are pro. One more I want to just highlight. We're going to do one ourselves because we have New Music Tuesdays when we put new music on the iTunes Music Store. So we decided to do a podcast. This is just a test. But you can subscribe to that and, you know, get... And the nice thing about this one is as we scrub along, you'll see that the artwork changes too. Right? And you can go to different chapters in this thing. You can go right to different chapters.
Toby Keith is like the god of... My hearing keeps reinventing herself.
So, very, very simple. And we think it's going to basically take podcasting mainstream to where anyone can do it, and really easy to find these podcasts, really easy to listen to them. So we're very excited about this. I think it's going to be one more way in which iPod and the iTunes digital music community are really at the forefront of this stuff, bringing the innovation into the marketplace. Now, I'd like to give you a little update on Mac. Mac is doing really well right now. And let me start off with just some figures. If we look at growth rates, these are year-over-year unit growth rates for the last 5 quarters, ending in March. And if we look at the PC market, the growth has slowed down a little bit from just under 20% 5 quarters ago to just over 10% today. This is, again, year-over-year growth rates in terms of unit ship. But let's look and see how the Mac's done in the same period. Look at this. 9 months ago, the Mac took off in terms of growth rates, and it grew over 40%. So last quarter, the Mac grew at over 3 times the rate of the rest of the industry, and we're pretty excited about that. And the most important thing, of course, happening in the Mac is Mac OS X Tiger. I hope all of you are using it. We shipped it recently. I'm sure you're all using Spotlight, Dashboard. We've shipped H.264-based QuickTime 7. And as a matter of fact, today, we're previewing QuickTime 7 on Windows, so you'll be able to download that later on today. So Windows users as well can get the best digital video in the world. You know, we've shipped over 1 billion copies of QuickTime during its lifetime. Over 1 billion copies. And now QuickTime 7 with H.264 is available on Macs and a preview release today on Windows. You've seen the new Mail with instant searching in it. We've seen Safari with instant RSS access built right into it. And you've seen iChat AV, where up to 4 people can do video conferencing right on the desktop with great quality, again, because of H.264. So Tiger, we think, is the best release we've ever shipped. And you know what? The critics have agreed. You know, the quotes, I'm sure you've seen some of them. This is from Computer World. Want to see what the future of personal computing looks like? Don't wait for Microsoft to show you. Go out and get yourself a copy of Apple's OS X Tiger. It's that good. Here's the New York Times. Spotlight isn't just a super fast find command. It's an enhancement that's so deep, convenient, and powerful, it threatens to reduce the 20-year-old system of nested folders to irrelevance. Hear, hear. CBSNews.com. I remember writing an article about Lotus 123 back when the product was released during the 80s. It may have been nearly 2 decades since I wrote that column, but it took Spotlight less than 2 seconds to find it. Business Week. Tiger bolsters OS X's edge as the best personal computer operating system around. And a similar one from the Detroit Free Press. It's the most elegant, useful, and powerful operating system I've ever used in 3 decades of computer ownership. It runs circles around Windows. And finally, Walt Mossberg, it leaves Windows XP in the dust. So, and I know you guys are all taking advantage of the latest, greatest Tiger features in your apps, and it's very exciting. And I'm really pleased to report to you that this week we will deliver copies sold through retail, delivered through maintenance, and shipped on the Mac since we cut over the 2 millionth copy of Mac OS X Tiger. This is the fastest. Remember, it's been about 6 weeks since we started shipping it, and we are thrilled with this. This is the most successful OS release ever. And it's not just us that's been busy with Tiger. Take a look at the third-party stuff that's been released. Over 400 Spotlight plugins, over 400 dashboard widgets, and over 550 Automator actions have already been posted. And in particular, I want to focus in on these dashboard widgets. Dashboard is one of the most exciting features of Tiger, and people have done some beautiful things, and I'd like to just show you a few of them now. So let me go ahead into Dashboard. You all know Dashboard. And let me get a few out here. Let me go back here. Here's a great one for Amazon. This one doesn't just take you to Amazon when you search for something, but I can search for let's say Tiger, and it right in place goes and searches Amazon and just gives me all the stuff I might want, right? Or iPod.